Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. In our 1 year extravaganza, we've done nothing for this. Not one thing.
We were supposed to have party hats, and then we forgot
We're
about
gonna
it.
edit
on party
hats. So, hey, welcome to our 1 year. We made it 1 year without deciding we didn't want to do this
Can you
anymore.
believe it's been 1 year
I
since
cannot.
we started
I
this
cannot.
little show?
Yeah, I
I
totally
cannot.
thought we'd give up before then. Luckily, everybody likes it enough to keep doing it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it gives us an hour or so to talk to each other and bullshit.
Yeah, we don't harbor any resentment for doing the show weekly because it takes precious time out of our schedule.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I hate you so much. But yeah, so we have done absolutely nothing. I did think about putting on a suit. I didn't.
Wait,
I considered it.
in post, can we get like a
No.
marching banner?
Whose
Like,
episode?
Whose episode is this?
Mine.
Okay, can we
Kieran's.
get
Yeah,
can we
no.
get it
I got it.
on- Happy anniversary.
He can put on shitty party hats for 5
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah,
That just
Can you
stay
put-
in one spot?
can
They
you
don't
put
move
the-
with us.
Put
If I send you
2D
the
party
picture-
hats on top
If I
of us.
send you the picture you should use, can you put this in?
Yeah, I can
Alright,
do that.
Sick. All right, cool.
That's easy.
All right. But yeah, so we made it 1 year. We have nothing planned. It would have been cool if we had like something where like look back on some old shit or something. Don't
We
have
watched
that.
We
Clips
could
of
do that. We could.
ourselves?
Hey, let's do a clip show.
Oh my God, we're not doing a fucking clip show.
We'd have to set up more things for that.
Let's do a clip show.
But yeah,
Can
so
we just have actually compilation of like all of my great bits,
all of your failures.
Oh.
my unintentional
be the
bits?
We're using
shortest
bit. We're using
episode.
bit loosely here, aren't we?
Yeah.
The
They're not
shortest
bits if you mean
episode
it.
ever.
Huh? They're not bits if
They're
you
not
mean
bits
it.
if you mean
Not
it.
bits if you mean it. Yeah.
But yeah, so
I really am trying my best.
It's not good enough.
It's, it's a
yeah,
thing.
we're just gonna have a regular episode as it is. But you know, at the very least, I just
Well, we
like,
should talk. We should give our audience some insight into how the podcast has affected us over the last year.
I was just gonna say, hey,
we should
thanks
talk
for-
about the
All
podcast.
right, I mean, we can. Do
It's
that.
it's our year-long thing. Like
I've been on
you
4
only you're only
episodes.
1 year.
Yeah, it took us almost a full year to have.
You're
a set.
only 1 year old once.
It did
Yeah.
almost take us a full year to have a real set.
Yeah.
It did. It did. Hey, but look at it now. We got the neon sign.
Yeah, we're
we
all-
got the weeb shit.
We're all
We got
profession
Mike.
Shit.
We.
All
Yeah,
in
Mike
the
is
way.
part of the
Probably
set.
a prop.
All
They
in the
just
way
sit
of
me
our
here
living
when
room.
they come into my house.
Well,
Like,
you
you're
live. You
always
live
sitting
here.
here.
You
You
live
do
here, so
anything else.
technically you are part of the set.
It's true.
I guess
So
that's true.
then,
true.
if by that
By
weird
definition.
logic,
But then that means Kieran's also a part of the
No.
set.
Kieran
I'm really not.
Kieran is a temporary furnishing.
I live in my room
Temporary furnishing.
and in the basement. That's it.
Are you a basement dweller?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would argue you're much more of a your room
Oh
dweller.
yeah.
But is it like real gremlin hours, or is it just like I'm here?
What, in my room?
Yeah.
I'm usually asleep or reading.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Not
so
very.
villain
That's
hours.
not very
Not so bad.
gremlin-like
Yeah.
behavior.
So it's
That's
so
not
bad.
very gremlin-like
Yeah.
behavior.
Oh my
It's actually
God.
a very well-adjusted adult
I was
thing.
like, yeah, it seems like
I don't know.
Seems like a very emotional.
know,
I don't
like
know.
a very mature
Yeah.
thing to do.
Depression naps are involved in
when we used to film at Collins, you know how
Yeah.
he had that office with his like desk and computer and
Boy,
stuff,
yeah.
and then he had his TV set up or whatever.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I refuse to put my bed down here, even though it would make my life much more convenient, because I want to be like one level above from living in my mother's.
Yeah,
basement.
because
I did exactly the opposite of that, where I went, I ain't going up there because I don't have to interact with them. Fuck that.
I'm
Do you
in
think
the
that we-
basement. That's where my room is.
do you think that we lost our spark? Do you think we got too commercial when we got a set? Instead instead of our
We sold out to
do you think we
ourselves.
sold out? Yeah. Now that we got a professional
Yeah.
set and
We
like
still
not-
make
it's not
zero
homey.
money.
we hit
If
50
anything, this is
subscribers and we sold out.
This has cost us money than anything else. We've made none, and
Yeah.
we've sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we sold
yeah,
out
yeah.
for sure, Z's.
Do you think there were a bunch of sellouts? Do you think we commercialized the podcast too much that we got a set?
But yeah, I
I
mean,
do think it's cute though.
we have been.
Yeah, we lost our raw, rugged intensity
Oh,
from
yeah.
filming in Colin's
we-
basement
we
Those
lost-
on a
ugly
fucking
couches.
folding table.
Yeah, we-
Technically,
On a
our-
fucking-
yeah,
With
our
the
just-
cheap picnic like
Yeah, the picnic table
tablecloth
and the couch
and the
seats.
folding chairs.
yeah, we definitely because it all started from just a stupid comment from me and Colin.
Sure did.
Which was we were at our job at the time where we were it was me, Colin, and Sage were working at the same place, and like what was this? So this was obviously a year ago. So like COVID was still kind of going on, and we
I feel
had
like
the
this was like winter time though, like February.
yeah, like it was February of 21.
Yeah.
And
You know what I can do? I can take the. Oh, actually, never
Oh,
mind.
Texas
that wouldn't
was
matter.
dying then.
Texas was dying then. It's true. And we were like, you know, we had the entire 2020 of just doing absolutely nothing. We had like all graduated. We were like, we don't got shit going
Yeah,
on.
and then we were
had
just
no
trapped in
creative
our
work.
homes.
Yeah. So like we were just walking around that job because I literally did like nothing a lot of the time unless there was people. And so we were walking around and we're just like, hey, we should do something creative. What should we do? And I was like, hey, we should do a podcast. And Colin's like, yeah, I mean, we could. And I was like, what would we talk about? And I was like, we could do it about anime. He was like, no, I don't want to do it only about anime. I was like, well, what if it's vaguely about anime? And we call it vaguely anime. And he was like, and he just looked at me and he gave me that look where he's like, fuck, that's
God
good.
damn,
Shit.
good idea.
And I think he was literally like, I think that's the greatest thing you've ever said. He was like, how did you just do that? And I was like, because I'm good like that.
Yeah.
Are you-
One
He's got
good
the
idea I've
skill.
ever had in my life. So
yeah, Mike gets like one good idea a year.
yeah, and
And then he
so-
always gets
He
a big
reached
head
the
about
quota.
it.
And then so I was like, all right, so what do we got to do? And so we went to you first, I
Yeah.
think, because you were just there.
I thought you went to me first.
I can't go. It was
Uh-oh.
either we went to Sage because she was there, or we messaged you first. I don't remember exactly what.
I thought it was me first and then Sage added.
It
I
might
feel
be.
like it was.
Okay, so then we messaged Kat and was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And you were
Okay, yeah,
like,
because you
"All
guys were talking about like having a creative outlet, and I was like, I could be there, like I can
Yeah.
speak,
You're
but
like,
like
I will physically be there.
yeah, and I can talk,
I
but
can
I'm not
talk.
gonna
I've been
edit
doing
or
it
set
for
anything up.
years.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, plus you had already been streaming, so we were like, oh, that's like kind of a fan base that we can hopefully like transfer a bit.
Yeah.
And then we messaged you and we were like, all right, well, let's do 4 people. So then we walked over to you.
I was
We're like,
gonna
hey,
say,
you
you
want to do
didn't
a pod?
message
Yeah,
me.
we
We
want.
were,
We were
like,
like, hey,
3
you want to
feet
do a
away from each other.
podcast? And you were like, yeah. And it was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy shit right now. Otherwise, we're not gonna do this.
Right.
So I bought, I think, at least one of the cameras and like the lights. And
Yeah.
and I think the first version of our audio stand that we didn't have that.
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Do you remember that shitty mixer that we
Yeah,
had the
Colin
first
was like,
time?
oh hey, we should do that and not spend all the money, and then it didn't work, and I was like, I guess we
Yeah,
should
and
have
then we
spent the money the first
immediately
time.
had to return it.
Yeah,
It's still a little shitty.
yeah, but the other one
Zoom.
was a lot shittier.
This one's not that bad, honestly.
Zoom.
But
Gross.
I like Zoom.
Zoom.
But
I
yeah,
like
so
Zoom.
like
Solid
because
state.
if
Get a Yamaha.
if you've ever gotten the vibe of how our friendship works through this podcast, we say we'll do a lot of things and then never do them.
Oh yeah.
We
So
can't even hang out with each other.
No,
we
we're
can't
literally
hang out with
so,
each
No,
other.
like, we're
we have
the-
to rely on one person to get the groups together.
So I was like, okay, because I really wanted to do this because I had nothing else going on in my life. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna buy expensive stuff. That way we are committed. And so I bought that stuff, and we're like, all right, I guess we're doing it. We went to Colin's house and just
Right.
set up folding chairs, put a fucking like cloth over it so it looked a little nicer.
Yeah.
That
That fucking gray cloth was
Yeah.
terrible.
and then like we bought these shitty mic stands and
And
we
we
were like, all
roped
right.
Anthony into it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Anthony,
then they realized they needed somebody funny, so they called me, and I was
Anthony was just like,
Sorry.
hey, I know things about
Well,
videos.
No, because Mike
what
reached
happened
out to me.
first Was,
Yeah.
we reached out to you.
yeah, because you were like, you know
because-
video shit.
Because we had no idea how to set up like cameras and everything the right way, and like
Right.
how to we knew basic shit, but we didn't know how to like really like
We
we
being you
needed-
and Colin?
yeah, me and
I was
Colin.
going to say, I know nothing.
we
I
we
still
didn't
don't.
know how to get the cameras to set up the like actual camera quality on the laptops. Because I remember we plugged them in and it was like 540 or whatever the fuck. And we're like, why the fuck does this look like such
140.
garbage?
Yeah, some like
Garbage.
weird fucking resolution.
And so then that was a whole rabbit hole of now we have like so many random shit plugged in. But Anthony, we were like, Anthony knows some things. He'll be able to solve this problem. I think, all right. So originally, I think our idea for our first episode was supposed to be that it came out in like May or June.
No,
Around-
we were gonna.
We recorded so many test episodes.
we did because
Right.
we kept having issues.
Yeah.
Right,
We-
because the first thing was like the video and the sound, and then we worked on the sound, and then we had more video problems because the cameras weren't lasting long enough,
Mhm.
and they kept cutting. Like we would record like an hour and a half, and then we'd cut out after like 20 fucking minutes, and we
Yeah.
would just still be talking, not knowing.
Yeah, so like there were a lot of technical issues in the beginning. So I think we technically recorded the first episode in like May
I feel like
or
we,
June. It was we aired our first episode in July. We had, I think, at least a month where we were trying to figure out how this worked.
No, I feel like I thought we recorded it earlier than that.
I feel like we were
Maybe
recording
we
in
did.
winter.
No, because
Yeah,
we,
same.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like we recorded.
I remember wearing
Yeah.
a jacket.
Yeah,
when we
like
were
I,
recording.
I think it
I
was
guess
like
that's because I remember
winter.
I was like at some
Well,
point
so
I was
if
like,
I-
I want to get our
How-
first episode out on July.
If
in
I look at
July.
our channel right now, it would be 4 weeks since the air date.
the air date is July 5th, 2021.
how long?
So then 4 weeks before that.
That's what I was saying. It's either
how long
June
have
or
we been
May.
doing Anime
Yeah.
Club.
So yeah,
for?
that'd be
'Cause that also
early
gives
June.
us
We did
insight.
Anime Club. We
Late
did
How many
May,
months
early
before?
June.
before
Yeah.
we did the episodes.
Yeah, because we did Madoka Magica.
We did
And
Toilet Bound
Erase.
Hanako-kun
The first one-
and Toilet Bound Hanako.
No,
Yeah.
as
Test episodes.
test
No,
episodes.
no, but
Madoka
I'm asking
oh.
how long have we actually been doing Anime Club? Because that gives us insight of how long we were
I think-
trying to do this.
Well, no, because
Like,
we
in
started Anime
general.
Club before the idea of the podcast. Because you
Yeah, 'cause
wanted
we
us
did
to watch
Erased.
Mira and Nikki. You wanted us to watch Future Diary, and then we were like, oh, what if we?
Because I thought that's why we also dragged Anthony into it, because we were like, well, he
That's
does
why- that's
Anime
what
Club
became
with
it.
us. Okay.
Well, that was because that was but that was
him in
That was
originally
the
just
first
for
time-
Anime Club.
that
We weren't
was
originally doing
the
a
first
podcast.
well,
test
no, because that was
episode.
one of the things too. Is because one, it was because I had the
I don't
technical.
know.
Well, it was one because I had the technical stuff. Like I knew how to do all this stuff because what I do for work. And then you were also like, oh, it's interesting that you could be like the straight guy, like the
Yeah.
guy who doesn't watch anime,
But originally,
like the guy who
yeah.
likes women. You know?
Yeah.
Originally, Anime Club was just
Straight
just
guy.
a yeah,
Take
it was
that,
just a thing for
Michael.
us to do, like how we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were doing Anime Club before podcast.
Yeah, before
was
we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that idea.
Oh,
And
I thought it
Anthony
was.
was
we had
joining
the
because
idea.
you hadn't watched anime, and he was just like, I'm interested in doing
And
that.
Yeah,
the
because
first test
I also wanted to
episode
create an outlet.
was an Anime Club episode,
Okay.
Yeah,
and I think it was Madoka Magica.
it was.
Madoka Magica was the first Anime Club we recorded, but it was not the first one we did.
It wasn't the test.
Because it
No,
was,
the
no,
fir-
because
I think the
first
first one
Anime
we did
Club
wasn't it
technically
Erased?
was me, Kat, and Colin. We did like 2 shows before everything else.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Right.
about like,
Yeah, the first one that I have that episode still.
and it was Madoka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have it labeled as the test. It's not labeled as the pilot.
Right,
So,
because it
yeah.
was the test.
Yeah, we had a test. I have one episode that's labeled as episode test, and I have one that's labeled as pilot, and they
Right.
are different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of those is when we got Anthony to finally show up and help us figure it out, and we were like, "All right, and this is the podcast hosts," and I was like, "I'm Michael Sage, Anthony," and then I pointed at Anthony,
Anthony.
and he goes, "Oh, I'm a host now."
I'm a host now, I guess.
Yeah, because you were just like, "Yeah, you're here now."
Well, because I mean, like I was there for the tech stuff, but I also felt like I added like kind of a dynamic to it because like I
Yeah.
was the straight guy because I'd never really seen anime before, so I was like learning about it as I was doing it. And I guess I'm in a better place now than I was a year ago
So Anime
in terms
Club,
of like knowing what the fuck is going on in anime.
Anime Club at the very least for
You're
our
slowly
Discord
getting
channel when we made it.
desensitized.
Was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
February.
Yeah,
we
that
made
sounds
Anime
right.
Club for February.
That sounds right.
Um,
I was gonna say I know it was cold out.
yeah. But so I know that it took us a few months. You're right. It took us a few months to get our first episode out.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I remember we were cutting it close because I wanted us to be the first week of July because I wanted it to be the Monday. And so I was like,
Right.
we need to get an episode that like works. So we had to keep doing the test episodes because things kept going wrong. Like first it was the audio, then it was cameras not staying on, then it was camera quality not working,
Yeah.
and then it was like a combination of both.
Do you remember we
The
recorded
fucking-
like the first episode on like some like fucking JVC like camcorders?
Hell
Like, you remember
Literal,
that?
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
fucking.
fucking-
Hell
was
yeah.
blurry.
We got
yeah.
rid of.
It
Yeah.
was so
Dude,
bad
that's like a
because it would
fucking
be like
early
close
2000s.
ups.
Oh, yeah,
and
it
then-
looked
and
like
then
it was
our
still the
wide
early
shots,
2000s.
and it was just trash.
Yeah, because we started with shitty stuff because we were like, these will work, and then they did not. So we had
Oh
to
my God.
return all of them. We had to get good cameras. We had to get a better setup.
Yeah.
You in the pilot episode were recording with your laptop and your mic like in front of you, connected to that laptop because we didn't have the one that had enough for 5 people.
Yep.
And it didn't record.
Nope.
So the entire time you just hear Anthony through the other mics. and not
I'm like
actually him.
screaming, like, and you know how I sound now, like with when I scream, all you hear is, "Fucking Jesus Christ, please!" It's
Yeah.
like,
So like it was a comedy of errors in that beginning, and then
the amount of times we had to fucking buy and send back stuff to like.
and Anthony
finally
just
get it
doing
right.
research and asking his bosses about how shit works.
I felt so embarrassed. I was like, Steven, how do you record a podcast? And
Yeah,
he's like,
shout out to
isn't this
Steven.
your job, asshole? And I'm
You're like, I don't know, is it?
We have very expensive stuff here. We don't there.
That's why I was literally.
Yeah,
I was like, it was like if we want to do a good setup, it would be like $10,000. I was
would
like,
be
we're
like-
not doing that.
In Anthony's defense, there is quite a bit of a difference between using high-grade
Yeah.
professional equipment.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
like,
it was
stuff that's
Wait,
good.
Where
was
did
stuff
that
I learned
camcorder
on.
come from? Was that Colin's mom?
I think it was Colin's.
No,
mom.
we bought them.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
thought
did
one
buy
of
them.
We
them
did
was
buy
like one that they like he happened to have.
We at least buy. We bought 2, I think.
I know
yeah,
the
one was
laptops
one
we
he
used.
happened to have.
That might be.
I know the laptops we
You
used
still
were
have
like
them?
Colin's old fucking.
Makes
The
some
one that
sweet
was
skating
literally on its
compilations.
deathbed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like before it shit the bed.
Yeah, and then we got the 2 expensive cameras, and our third one, which is why older episodes the wide shot is always blurry, is because we had Anthony's old ass camera that we didn't want to buy a third because it was so expensive for the 2,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we were like, we're not buying a third. So we were using Anthony's T3, I think, that we still
T3.
have. It's in a fucking it's in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
closet.
yeah.
And that shit, that's why if
Canon
anyone
TI3
watches the old
or
episodes, the
whatever
wide
it's
is
called.
always blurry. Or when
Yeah.
we put out clips from the older
That
episodes.
camera
Yeah.
sucks.
Uh,
No, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's nice for the time, but bad
And then
now.
That's
at
freshman
some
year of
point,
film school camera.
we were
right
like,
there.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember when we were like, we need to buy a third camera. It was just too bad.
I think it was when we realized
I
that the
feel
wide
like
was
that
just too
a while
shitty.
into it though.
it was a good
It was a
chunk
decent
of time, yeah.
Oh, we definitely had it when we were still in Colin's basement.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then like, I feel like it's a little like I don't know. I guess like self-absorbed to be like, I feel like we did pretty solid the first episode, but like I don't think it did outwardly, but I feel like at least for us, it felt like we knew like we were able to just like talk to each other, like it didn't change.
I think right out the gate we had some really good chemistry.
And I think it
I
just
really do.
improved
I
over time,
genuinely
yeah.
believe that. I thought we had some really good chemistry in the first episode.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I
y'all
think
been
we-
friends.
Shit fucking falls apart. Like,
Not like somebody just
yeah,
went
you
up
said
to you
we're
on the
friends, but, like,
street.
I feel
Hi,
like
I'm Anthony.
Hey, you
I
want to
feel
be on
like
a
it's a different
podcast?
dynamic though once you're like trying to like put something together.
But I feel like also it's different to just like shit talk with your friends and then like have a discussion that's like critical and you're like basing things off of like being intelligent.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
or
Yeah,
not
yeah.
being intelligent in
Yeah,
some of
I
our
was gonna
cases.
say,
I've
most
yet
of us
to
are
see
But I
not
feel like it gets.
intelligent.
I feel like at this point, like we've reached a point where like it's not even like the mics aren't even here. Like we're just having like a genuine conversation. You know, I
The
feel like
only
we've
time the mics
gotten
are
to
here
that
is when
point.
we have to go, hey, speaking to the
Yeah,
mic.
let's just
asshole.
speaking of the mic. Turn your head.
Yeah,
Yeah, it feels like the mics aren't even here. You know, it's just like having a genuine conversation with just like a piece of.
Yeah, I mean, this
What
is
is it,
like
dead
I,
cat
mean,
in
I
front
feel
of
like I don't know what you guys, but like when we do these, like it's genuinely like one of my my up points in my week. 'Cause
It's
I'm
a
like,
highlight
oh,
of the
cool.
week.
Like,
It's a
just
highlight
get
of the
to-
week.
And I also just like the anime club aspect to this too. Like I feel like it at least like exposes us to more shows and like it makes us actually sound maybe slightly intelligent because we're like, oh hey, there's like film shit that we understand. or
Well, I
whatnot.
feel like we have a lot to say though in terms of like when we do the anime clubs. Like I feel like you provide a pretty good insight because you're like an anime veteran. Like you've seen a lot of stuff. Not to you're a fucking weeb. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
true.
But
He-
no, but I'm
Me and
serious.
Sage,
Like
the weebs.
I'm serious.
I
You
don't
you
know,
have a
I've
lot of
never seen a
experience. You
single
both have a
anime in my
lot of
life.
experience with anime. Like you've
Right.
watched it all your lives and like well not almost all your lives and
Well,
like
not Mike.
not my well you
Yeah.
from a very young age and you recently getting into it but like I've seen enough to where I feel like I would be justified in like
I feel like Mike
Asking
is
you
I was
your
exposed
opinion on
to it
something.
throughout my life, but I started.
right. You didn't
really
start like
Yeah.
actually like going into it.
and then
yeah.
Kat was just like you were just before me right like you
You
or were
started
farther
in, like during quarantine, didn't you?
Yeah, like 2020.
Like really getting into it.
Yeah, really getting into it, I'd say 2020, but I think I started in 2019.
Because like I
Oh,
remember
okay.
Yeah,
the
I
first
feel
show
like
that
I
the
remember
first
that.
show that you really got into was Future Diary, wasn't it? Because that was why you would want to be in Colin to watch it so bad.
No, that wasn't the first
No,
one. That
wasn't
was like
your
the
first like 10 out of 10 show.
Yeah, I think so, but that's not like I had seen a bunch of shows before
Which
that.
I'd like to
where
bring
she,
out
where she only
that-
just now realized she hadn't seen the ending, the canon
the,
ending.
her favorite show never saw
Okay,
the ending.
because it's in the extra episode, which was trash for the most part. It also
Just
came
like the
out
show.
like year. It came out years
not wrong.
after. And I guess I was just like, because it was just bad, I like tuned out and then didn't fucking watch it. Like, but apparently since everyone hated the real ending so much, that's why they did that extra episode to change the ending. but I don't know.
Nobody liked the original ending that you liked, so they changed
No, I
it.
didn't.
Oh, so it was like
No,
a Mass
no.
Effect?
Yeah,
No.
she did tell me earlier. This is like she was
Yeah,
crying
this
at
is-
the ending
this is-
because it was bad.
Yes, this is literally.
Wait,
This
what's
is
the
literally-
ending? What's the ending that they changed? Like, was it?
They do end up together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
We literally
wins
had
in
this
the end.
conversation today, me and Kieran, because he had brought up, he was just like, oh yeah, you know, you have some interesting taste. Mike told me that you like the ending. And I was like, no,
Yeah, you
I
said you were
don't.
crying to the ending. That's what I remember.
Not good tears.
Yeah, that is verbatim what she told me earlier.
She's crying.
Well, because I remember we were talking about, literally, actually, a clip that went up today where you were like, we were talking about how like it became easier to cry now that we're older.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh yeah, Future Diary, man, it got me. I was fucking bawling my ass out. Me and Colin were like, fucking what?
No, because I was
Like,
really
crying
bawling
is
my eyes
easier
out
now
because
that you're
they
older?
didn't end up together.
was
Like
a show.
after all of that, that's why I
was a
was
show.
crying.
Oh.
So that's bad tears because it was how they ended it. Is not
Bad tears.
That is not how I wanted it to end. So it was bad tears. So
I
it
said
wasn't.
the show was trash. I gave it a 7.
I
It was like-
started
it was
I started
Give it a
crying right when that
7.
motherfucker with
I
the
feel like
eyeball helmet
definitely
showed up, and I was like, I hate that motherfucker. He's so stupid.
The guy with the eyeball?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got like an eyeball mask on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
literally.
And
I
it
think
was
I just
that's
wiped
the
my brain
that's
with
the
this. I
marker
literally
where
don't
the
remember
show
any
goes
of this.
downhill. It's like
but-
once that guy
Yeah.
shows up, it's all downhill.
Did you
but,
watch
yeah,
it?
I think.
Oh,
No,
don't.
he was
I
after
never
that.
picked it as my pick because everybody had seen it but
Except-
Anthony.
and
And
I
I,
didn't see it either. Oh, at that point I had seen it. actually.
yeah, so it felt like kind of like a
It
waste.
would've been
to just
redundant
Yeah,
to
no,
watch
dude.
it.
Coming into this show, the only anime I had seen was all the Ghibli movies,
Right.
And erased. right?
Erased,
Yeah.
and I was in the middle of watching JoJo's.
Right.
You hadn't
At
seen
that
Cowboy
point.
Bebop?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I hadn't
and-
seen Cowboy Bebop before
and,
we started Anime Club.
the
Honestly,
show
I
that you
haven't
made
seen
it,
Cowboy
Mushishi.
Bebop either.
Oh, and Mushishi. Yeah, I'd seen Mushishi too. So very like sparse stuff. So,
Yeah, because we.
but now
origi-
I've seen like a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have like known.
Yeah, because we
either way.
originally started Anime Club just because we were bored, and Kat wanted us to watch a show, and so
Yeah, we became. It was
wanted
like
us
an
to watch
agreement,
Future
a
Diary,
mutual
yeah.
agreement.
A mutual agreement that if we watched that, you had to watch 2 of our shows.
What did you pick?
Mine was Flip Flappers.
Oh,
And that was
so
what
you,
became.
yeah,
And
you
was
waited.
Collins?
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome
Col-
to the NHK.
No,
No.
Devil is a part-timer.
Devil is a part-timer.
This,
We-
is, this is just when it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
three
So
of us.
what happened
Yeah.
was.
I completely
was-
forgot about Welcome to the NHK.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
still like that
It
show.
should
Wow.
stay that
That's
way.
Yeah, I
what
should
we
say that way,
started.
right? Yeah.
So what
I
happened
still
was
like it.
We,
sorry.
we had a trade-off that was if we watch it, and I think so. We did. Colin watched it before I did, I think.
He
As-
said he watched
yeah.
it when he was a kid.
As
No.
oh,
I'm talking about Future Diary.
Okay.
yeah, as you guys were watching that, I was watching Devil is a part-timer.
Right. And then I was trying to figure out what I wanted to pick.
Yeah.
And by the time that like I had figured it out, we had already started talking about the podcast as the idea. That I was like, I'm going to use. It's going to be Flip Flappers, but I'm going to wait till we have the podcast together. Which is then why I think when we did the random, when we did the order for the podcast, when we did like the name generator for the list, that you went first, or Colin, then you, because Anthony
Sure.
wasn't in the rotation yet. That's why we did Madoka Magica.
Oh yes.
Because we did NHK, which wasn't recorded.
Right.
Then
Yeah,
we
then
did
I ended up
Madoka
watching
Magica.
Madoka with you anyway.
Right. Yeah, because you were, and then
Yeah.
and then it was Flip Flappers,
Right.
and then we figured out the order, I guess, because I went without you going.
I thought we just did like a random generator.
Yeah,
But
we
let's-
did.
Oh.
But that's what I'm saying. I guess we skipped you because we had just done Future Diary.
Yeah, but that was just you two, and that's why I remember being
right.
mad.
Yeah. And then-
Because I was
and
just like, this doesn't count because I
Right.
watched Devil as a part-timer like for that agreement. And you're like, no, but you have to watch Flip Flappers, so it doesn't count. And I'm like, but I watched Devil as a part-timer. Like,
You're like,
literally
I
for
did my homework, guide.
literally.
But yeah, then we did a random generator, and I think we were just going through for that, and then we just used the Anime Club
What's
as like
even
a
our
basis
order?
for
I
that.
don't even remember.
Our order is it is now after Colin left. It is Anthony, Sage, you, me.
So we're back at the top of the order now with
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
And I guess Kieran, whenever the fuck.
Because Kieran has nepotism, so Kieran doesn't have to watch the shows.
Kieran can't be forced to watch the shows, so Kieran's not gonna watch the shows.
strap you
I'm
down.
not gonna watch something that I'm just not interested in,
I guess
But that's
fair.
the whole point.
But we do.
Yeah.
and you choose to do that.
I'm not having this argument for the 50 billionth time today.
You
So-
chose to have that,
But yeah, so
restrictions put
it's-
upon you.
Yeah, so that we random generated it, and then we were doing the first episode as Madoka Magica,
Right.
but also the camera angles were fucking awful. Like one of the shots is the wide shot, I think, or the 3 shot is literally still us in it, and it's like fully the side of profile of my face, and you can't be seen. You're in like a
Oh,
corner
is that why
hidden.
it's covered?
cat
I
is just
remember,
hidden.
yeah.
Yeah, so like we were like, okay, we can't use that. And I remember you were really bummed about it because you were like, oh, I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, but it just looks awful. And then
Yeah,
so,
that
we
was the
release
problem
it as
for a
audio
while
only?
with the profile.
yeah, and then
Yeah, we should do like a lost episodes type thing.
Oh,
well,
where,
yeah.
his
like-
audio is also lost in that.
Oh, just kidding.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
never
the
mind.
audio- Yeah,
Audio
that
only.
episode is him where the
Yeah.
audio doesn't
Oh,
work.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost
Um,
episode, lost audio.
Yeah.
Ordered
Yeah.
food.
Lost
Hear
cat.
everything but
It's
Anthony.
a lot of
It was
lost
40
things.
minutes ago. Okay, I thought they would have gotten here before then.
What?
He ordered
Go
food.
get your
It just
food.
over here. Go
Oh.
get that. Oh,
I was like, what the heck?
he didn't.
Walk right in front of it.
Calling you out.
What did I
but
do?
the last time you got up during the podcast, you walked right across this.
Oh, did
Oh,
I?
you sure did. You sure
Um,
did. And I remember when that happened though, but because Mike and I were both just like, he just walked across.
I had to
And
piss like
there's-
a fucking
and there-
racehorse.
and
I don't
there's
know,
a
man. Like,
perfectly
it was
good
bad.
path going around
I
the
could
other
not
way.
hold it. I wasn't thinking straight, dude.
But yeah, so I like our anime clubs like just also because not only do like we get to like watch them, I feel like it's a nice way just to see our opinions on shit that are like most people watch.
The
Right.
fucking squeak. It's so good.
And then we
Can we put in like some like cartoon squeaky noises?
and
You
then
don't even have to. That's just what
Yeah,
it
it's
sounded
just right
like.
there.
It'll probably pick up.
Oh, it picked up. Oh, it picked up. All right.
and then we had our technically quote unquote
Huh?
best performing episode, which was the
Oh,
sex
the
Sex
sex
appeal.
appeal. Yeah. Oh my God, the sex
With,
appeal episode.
I'm pulling it up now, which I think is
Yumi and Colin.
Yeah, it's 19,000 views.
Oh my god.
Boy, how many bots are those? All of them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So that's technically our best performing episode in terms of numbers.
the
But
retention is 0.
yeah, absolutely. We have a couple thousand episodes, but like our retention's pretty much always bad.
A couple thousand episodes.
Like 1,000, like had past 1,000 watches.
I think our
Oh.
clips are the ones that like pull in.
The shorts do really well.
Yeah.
Clips sometimes do well. Yeah, Jardo, who has not done a few things for a bit, he's fucking swamped.
Poor thing.
Yeah, Jardo.
He
like,
goes
our-
to work at 3 a.m.
Our like
Holy
social media
shit.
manager. He has a not 9 to 5 job, so that man is busy all the time. So
Yeah,
when
works for the best thing about Texas,
like, yeah,
HEB.
yeah. So like whenever tweets don't go out or something, they're like our shorts aren't up. Like that's just because he's fucking busy and he knows how to make that shit work better than I do. So I just leave it to him. I just make clips and put them out, and then.
Me and Sage are just here.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
here to provide the content that.
Well,
is.
you and Jardo both work on the aesthetic of the podcast, which
That's true.
All right,
As
so
you
Kat literally
yeah.
does
Which I guess I'll also say, as long as everything worked out, we had a new intro today.
Oh yeah.
which
We
was
should
worked
have-
on by
and the new
thumbnails.
How do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah, the borders, which means that if that is out, thank you to Jardo and Sage for working on the aesthetic of that. Kieran for doing the animation.
Yay.
If we ever
Yes,
get
sir.
And me just
You're
standing
really-
there being like, yes.
You're really
Oh
digging
my
me
God.
into a hole here.
Every
I'm gonna
time
back into a
Jardo
corner.
and I have a call about like aesthetic things, Mike is also on the call because I guess he just wants to be there.
Mike
so
can't miss anything.
so he doesn't feel lonely. I don't
Anything.
know.
Doesn't
But-
feel low.
But every time, it will just be
Damn.
me and Jardo looking at like an Illustrator file and me going, okay, can you move it a little bit this way? Okay, a little bit that way. No, go back that way. And then Mike will be like, oh, but what if we just put it like all the way to the other side? I'm like, that's disgusting. Why would we
You're
do that?
But to that effect though,
You
that'll be the moment where I'm like, they'll be moving all this shit, trying to figure it out. And I'll be like, what if you just move it to the other side? And you're like, that's fucking stupid.
Mike, why don't
And
you
then-
shut the fuck up?
But then
Thanks.
I'll just be like, but how about you just like humor
Sorry,
me?
are you on
Yeah.
the design team?
Yeah.
It's like, but like humor me though. Try it anyway. And they'll be like, fine. And then they'll do it and be like, fuck, that looks good. I have one good suggestion.
he makes
I make one suggestion after sitting there in silence the entire time.
Mike makes one good suggestion per meeting.
And then he gets a big head about it.
Yeah.
This is what we just talked about.
Like when we were meeting about the new border for the thing, I was like, well, what if we just do this? And I was like badly trying to make it
Oh
work. 'cause
my god, I could.
it looked like garbage, but like also because the way Jardo does his Illustrator files is
know.
a mess.
He-
And I was like,
At least he started labeling his layers.
yeah. And I was like, what if we do this? And I like did like alternate colors and like a different thing. And I was like, well, you know, not this exactly because it looked bad, but like to this effect. And they're both like, yeah, that'd work.
What is
Yeah,
it?
all right. Send that to me. I'll make it actually work.
Yeah, but we had to go and like
Yeah. So
make it a actually.
yeah,
thing.
and then I guess what I'm trying to think of like other early day things. Oh, you were doing the chibis.
Oh yeah, I did those.
Oh my god, my chibi when I was like,
robot
I don't know what I want.
I know. Literally, everyone.
It's like
was
literally
you with a robot eye.
3-week endeavor.
Everyone
of
was
like,
like,
I don't know what I want.
This is. I think I didn't ask you what you wanted because I already
Yeah.
had in my head what I was gonna
You're
do.
like, I'm giving you this. I'm like, wow.
because
Alright.
Works
I,
for me.
I was
Fuck
like,
it,
I
alright.
just know it will work, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is good enough. Like she'll accept it as it is.
Yep.
Mike, I also don't think I asked him.
Like, you're trash.
Trash
You're going
can?
in the trash.
No,
There we
I don't
go.
think you asked me, but that's also because we made the joke about it at
Yeah.
work, and you were like, "I'd do that," and I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, cool."
And then I know Colin. He was like, I want the
Trunk sword.
trunk sword. And then I was like, okay, Anthony, you're going to be on this podcast. What do you want? And Anthony, I literally said to Anthony, I said, Anthony, what do you like? And he goes,
And
I
I
don't know.
swear to God, I said,
I'm like,
you were like,
movie,
yeah.
TV show, comic book, anything. And he's like, I don't really know. I like this and this. I'm like, but how do I get like one like thing that would symbolize that? And he's like, I'm not really sure. And I'm like, Anthony, I swear
No,
to fucking
what is
God.
so funny about that is you said, Anthony, what do you like? And I
To the
said,
mic,
I
you
don't know.
whore.
And I was like, how do you not know?
I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
And,
what I like.
and Anthony's like, I don't really watch a lot of anime. I said it doesn't need to be anime related. Anything that you like.
Well, hold on. Was the cyborg eye me and Colin? Or were you like, just give him a fucking cybernetic eye
No,
he likes
because
synths?
because I was like, oh, I really like Terminator, and you were like, cool, you're getting a red eye, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I said cyborg guy. That's it. Like I don't know what else
That's
to do
why
for you.
Anthony's.
I'm like, it's
Anthony's
not
chibi-
even like my favorite sci-fi brand. Like, I don't even like.
That's why Anthony's chibi is literally just him, but with the fucking.
Well, I have my
cyborg
I have my
eye.
glasses, my
change-
Hawaiian shirts,
Yeah, the Hawaiian
and the
shirt.
cyborg.
And then.
Can you
Kieran
change
got one.
mine to be a xenomorph?
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, I wanted that.
And yeah, and then.
No, my 1 week Illustrator trial gone. It went. It came and
God,
went.
out of here.
That's why she didn't even ask.
Yeah, and then. Oh
She didn't
my
even
God.
ask me. Is like, what do you like?
The.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
was
no.
like, send
Fuck
me a
you.
picture.
You don't get
Yeah,
to
because
like
I couldn't even
anything.
get a picture. I was like, Kieran, can you send me a selfie? He's like, no.
No, I don't take selfies.
And I was like,
do I look like
and
the
I
kind of
literally
guy who
said to
takes
him,
selfies?
I said, I need just one picture of you. And he goes, no.
Yeah.
I was
did
like,
do
well,
that.
I'm not going to draw you from fucking memory, so you better send me a goddamn picture.
If you
Fucking
asked,
lopsided
if
head.
you,
like-
if you had asked, I would have posed for 2 hours.
Oh,
in
shut
front
up.
of my fucking computer.
Shut
You
up.
won't take a selfie, but you'll pose for 2 hours.
You know what?
Fuck
Shut
yeah.
up.
Kieran's like, give me the drapes. Here we go.
And then there was.
Do you need
the-
me naked? Is that what?
Then, like along with that, it
No,
was
that
the
was to be
the endeavor
sponsored by
of
Ace. Remember?
the endeavor of like we needed the lower thirds and like the other stuff, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll do that, and Sage every time I would send them because I was like, I was just using our color scheme.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just trying to do because I didn't know After Effects at all. I barely know After Effects now, but like I had zero idea about how the fuck After Effects worked at the time. So I was like just making the lower thirds, like the slide in, slide out, like shit that that you guys see. Like I've made all those, and every time I'd be like, oh, like what do you think of this, guys? And then Kat and Anthony and Colin would be like, yeah, it looks good, nice. And then Sage would just be like, actually,
That's the most disgusting
It's
thing
the
I've ever
biggest
seen
Piece
in
of
my
dog
life,
shit
yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
redo it all. And I'd be like, Sage. I swear to God, it was every time. It was like, can you just change? No, I'm not.
I can't do any more.
Yeah,
Okay?
we reached our quota, like our change quota. It's over.
But yeah, and
Speaking
it's
of
every.
But I feel like
horrendous
the changes
organization.
that I suggested did help.
After Effects files for those lower thirds.
What?
Horrendous organization.
Actually, I
it
think
takes
they're
me 3 hours to
They're
find
organized
one
very
thing.
well.
Like I go in there and it's
Editing
just like
an episode 20 minutes, finding the
there's
files
a huge
3 hours.
there's a huge like
They're not like titled.
it's just a
They
block.
are titled.
They are all titled, but whenever I'm looking for something specific, I go into the one that's labeled that, and it's not there. Like, if
Rip.
I'm trying to find, like, because, you know, before she made mine, I was like, I just had to find guest.
Right.
And finding the guest one was a nightmare.
It's labeled guest.
It wasn't in there.
What do you
It
mean?
was hiding.
I mean, yeah,
Because
it
sometimes-
was because it's not under guest. Like I have to go into like the it's like the 3-shot, and
Well, when
it was
you
just
clicked- when you
just
clicked on it, was
labeled.
it at the start line?
Yeah,
They're not there.
it
because-
defaults to 0. What are you
right,
talking
but at
about?
0, they're not
Very
going to be there.
confused.
You have to play through to get.
I
to it.
know that too, but I keep looking in the label because for the one that says like guest middle or guest left or guest right, but it's not in there, and you have to like open up pre-comp stuff to like
It
hide
makes sense
other
to me.
hide others and then hide the one. That's the only way I can find it every time. It's
Oh,
like,
you mean in the actual like
Yes!
the lower third thing? Oh yeah, that's 100%. You just have to like figure out. Which
yeah,
one it is.
that's shitty.
It makes
This
sense to me
motherfucker's like, it
because
makes
I-
total sense. It's right there.
makes a
It
hun-
is
No,
no.
it 100% makes sense
Yeah,
because
go
it
ahead and
all
bring
makes
me
sense
down.
in my own brain. But also, you'll bring the footage in to label those in After Effects instead of just importing the After Effects into Premiere, and that shit makes 0 sense to me.
What, replace footage with
Yeah,
After
because
Effects
I just Adobe link it into the thing and then just drag it over as an overlay. And I'm like, that shit
Habit.
confuses me.
What's up?
You just said a lot of words. I was like,
Yeah. But like, I don't know. So, and then there's also the thing is Anthony doesn't have After Effects. So every time he finishes an edit, I then have to go in and add the things. And
It's
if-
not my fault. You use like After Effects 2016, dude. Like I don't know what you want
2020.
from me.
But also, well, yeah, but you
Upgrade
can
already.
upscale that because he
Jesus Christ.
upscales it.
Yeah, I upscaled mine.
I don't know.
His is
I don't know
2022.
why it won't work.
Previous versions can go up.
Yeah.
Current versions can't go down.
Yeah.
But then also
not fair.
like, yeah. But
Well, it's because there's
they're compatible
settings and stuff
Yeah.
that so it has to be like
But
formatted
so
again.
every time
No.
Anthony will
So you can't
finish an
change the
episode,
format
I then
back.
have to go in and add the graphics.
Otherwise, it'll just mess up everything.
it will explode.
Yeah.
and Anthony will edit his audio in the master. And if we ever
Oh, are we roasting each other now?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
You edit in the master?
Yeah, because it's easier.
if we ever have to put a transition in, which means we have to cut a block out, which feels like every time that Anthony edits an episode, and it's like multiple times we need a transition, then his master edit, because when you cut stuff out, right, it's no longer where it was. The master edit does not change. If it's an hour and a half of footage, the master edit is that hour and a half. If you cut a block of footage out, it still stays at that hour and a half. So like if you lower it apart, it stays there, even if you move the footage. So once I have to put at least one transition in, his audio editing no longer syncs up and no longer makes sense. So then I have to be like, go in because I forget about it every goddamn time. I'm like, fuck, what the hell does any of this shit mean? So I have to like try to figure out where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, you gotta read their lips on the screen.
Oh my god. I hate it.
You mean like the
Why not
lips
just
that
link
are
it to
hidden
clips?
behind our microphones? Those?
I mean, you
What,
can
link
link
it
You
to the
gotta go by
master?
like body gestures.
I mean, why not
what,
just,
what
like,
does it feel like they're
in
saying?
the actual timeline, just group them and then just cut
Just
out
like
what you
they're
don't
always
need.
yelling. Which yelling is this one?
I don't know what you mean.
Because it would keep.
Yeah.
Appropriate
It would
yelling.
stay safe.
Yeah.
But also, I just edit in the actual audio levels because usually, if I only have to mess with things, it's like at one point.
All right, guys, I know this is really thrilling
yeah,
conversation,
fair enough.
but lots of people aren't going to know what the fuck this
Yeah,
is,
that's
so
But anyway, yeah. So
I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
well, now they can fucking learn.
Yeah.
yeah, this is an educational podcast
Yeah.
now. You guys
Welcome to the
didn't know?
1 year anniversary
Well,
of making
yeah,
the
all right. So
anime.
speaking of like things that you guys will understand, with this podcast is that, especially recently, we need to fucking move the schedule around so goddamn often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
we do.
every single week we
This is
change
episode
it.
52, right? We film 5 weeks in advance. We
We
film.
try to.
Yeah, we try to. We try to film 5 weeks in advance. 52 was supposed to be like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're the worst.
This episode comes out in like a week.
But
And
it's
we
because
had
we
to
needed everyone.
Yeah, we had to keep moving because we needed everyone here. Everyone kept being busy, and like that's why a lot of times like you'll notice like some things are out of date. Like we filmed 51, 53, 4, and then we didn't film 55 until
That's
now.
why we also
So,
like always mess up what we're talking about. We're like, this will be in the past, or our future
For frame
self
of
will say
reference, the
this.
Depp Heard
Yeah.
trial
Yeah.
just ended.
yeah, and like so it's
Remember
just,
that from 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Remember that ancient history?
Irrelevant.
So it's like it's also like 5 weeks big buffer time between like current events and stuff, but also
But it's
with
good
how
we did
fucking
that
busy
because we
are,
could
yeah.
afford.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna.
Waiting
Yeah.
this
And
long.
Being
also-
here.
Yeah.
And also because like me and Anthony are going away on a trip for like 2
Oh,
weeks.
don't
I'm
spill
gone
the
for 3
secrets.
weeks. So like we have
Yeah,
to
for-
pre-record
I was
some
gone
stuff.
3 weeks of the last month.
Yeah.
I went to Alaska and Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was just
Did
gone.
you go to Canada too?
Yeah, that was on the Alaska
Oh,
trip.
okay.
Yeah, usually the
Yeah,
biggest
you have
issue.
to go through
yeah.
Canada to
Yeah.
get to Alaska.
No, but I thought she went like stayed in Canada for a while and then like
Just one day.
Usually
okay.
the biggest issue is always Anime Club because we need the main
Yeah.
people. So it was either 5 or now 4. And then the only reason why it kept being an issue specifically now was because the year episode. I was like, we need to get everybody on it. Like, we
Dude,
can't-
honestly, it got harder since Colin left to get everybody together. Like, it really had.
Yeah, and it was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I swear, like, literally, so that's why if you will realize that when 55 comes out in a few weeks that we're wearing the exact same goddamn outfits is because I was like, guys, we just need to get this
Oh, I thought
fucking
you-
episode
I thought
done.
you changed your shirt.
No.
Oh.
So I was like, we just need to double record.
Yeah.
So it's also partially why we're pushing times to an hour, which is the next 3 episodes won't show that to you guys, but we're lowering times to an hour just A, to make editing a bit quicker, and B, just so that it's easier for all of us to be able to get in and get
I
out.
also like
Yeah.
how in 55 you were like, and this is the first
Yep, sure
episode
is.
where we're doing less time.
Well,
And
also,
it's not.
yeah, it's not because, well, technically,
This
again,
one is.
50.
Oh, and when we did the quarantine
Yeah, I
episodes,
like
those
the
were
hour.
over
Yeah.
an hour.
Oh,
too.
yeah, they were
But
like
53
45 minutes.
Yeah, 53 and 54 will be an hour and a half again. But this one, I feel like it's worth mentioning at least because like it's also going to be around an hour. So
True.
like, it's just going to be like this is the 1 year celebration. Why is it only an hour? And then the next 2 we're going to be.
Yeah.
Long as fuck. Yeah.
Damn.
don't
You
care
know,
about
let's talk about
our
let's
money.
talk about those quarantine episodes for a second because that was a fucking odyssey to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up.
Oh.
Mike's like, oh shit, this is a Vietnam flashback over here. But like, yeah, no, I think it was because I got the flu. You were in Texas. I got the flu.
No, I think it's because I had
Which is
COVID.
You
Worse.
had COVID, but
You
I
had
had the flu
COVID,
too.
yeah.
You, what? Did anything happen to you?
I
Nothing happened to
think
you, right?
Mark
Anything happen to you?
got sick.
Every dude, like literally,
Yeah,
like
Mark got sick.
every
you
like
couldn't go
at
out.
least one bad
Yeah,
thing
but it
happened
was
to
al-
all
it
of
was
us.
always
Mark
like-
got sick and we thought he had COVID,
Yes.
and just
Yeah.
so we didn't risk it, we didn't go in.
It was
Yeah.
always
That
like
seems
right
to happen.
after though, being like, okay, Kat doesn't have COVID anymore. We can finally record, and then boom, Mark's sick. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, we're
now
like,
we
ah,
can't come in.
shit.
Yeah,
So-
so like
I think
just,
it happened like
went on.
within a day of each other.
Yeah.
Of Kat being like, "Oh, I'm good now. Like I tested negative. Like everything's great." And then like the next
Yeah.
day, I was
But I
like,
think
"Mark is sick and I
Colin
can't
I
leave
think
my
Colin
house."
had a scare
Yeah,
too.
I think
Colin
Colin had a
something,
scare too,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then it was like, and then it was Colin was getting a new job. I was moving, and like here was Colin. Here. So then it was like just so much shit. You were moving out, I think, or already moved out. I don't remember. You were like,
I feel
settling
like I
in.
was already moved
Yeah,
at that
and
point.
like,
But you were like unpacking or
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
something.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
It was
I
like-
think
yeah.
they didn't have like any furniture
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then
Like,
it was like
struggle
I was
busting
moving
it for a
out,
while.
and then we needed the new set because we wouldn't have any of the stuff. So it was like, all right, we need to
Because
record.
then Colin's family was moving, so
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
needed to find a
so
new
we had to
place
clear out his basement, and
Yeah.
it was like,
so we
ah,
had to
shit.
record, like we had to pre-record some episodes in his basement, and then we had to do like 6. What did we do? 5 episodes of the podcast in quarantine
It was like
style?
1 week of every single
Yeah.
day, just like
Yeah.
mass
Yeah, just
episodes.
going out.
Yeah.
But they were easier, right? Because we were all over Discord and recording through there.
Yeah.
And then we had specific topics that we wanted to talk about.
Oh, that's
and they were
true.
also
Yeah.
only like 45 minutes
Yeah,
long.
we did
Yeah.
them very
Yeah.
short for him.
So we had like stuff to fill up the time and like do it quickly.
Yeah.
Which was good. And at least we had the content going out. It's just a shame that I really liked doing those episodes. I thought we had some really great content. It's just a shame that like nobody saw them.
Yeah.
You know?
And like And
Sorry,
I mean,
man.
you know, right now we're sitting at a solid 55 subscribers. I don't know how many of those are like real people. Hey, if you are, cool. Thanks for watching. But like,
Governor Abbott confirmed.
yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Greg Abbott.
So like, it's like, it's interesting because a lot of the content that it usually does really well, like shorts.
Hold on 1 second. Are you okay? Do you not know who Greg Abbott is?
Did you
No.
just say you
He's
don't
the
know?
governor of Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a
okay.
very bad man.
He's an
Oh.
asshole.
Incredibly bad man. So
yeah,
They're
but
trying
like,
to ban drag shows in Texas now.
he's very anti-abortion. He was
Sorry.
like, the guns aren't the problem.
Sorry,
the
that
children
literally
are.
happened
Oh,
today.
Yeah, that kind of guy. Yeah, so Anyway.
But yeah, like a lot of the content that usually does fairly low, like the shorts, and like we were doing really well on TikTok, but then like I got too busy to do them. Jardo was supposed to pick them up, but he's also too busy, and it's like at some point I guess we got to get back on that.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of that content does really well, and like which would be great because then we could grow like the brand a bit. But also we're not really when we started out doing this, it was like we went into it being like this is gonna go nowhere. If it does, cool. But
I feel like that's still.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
That's still kind of the
still
vibe,
makes
yeah.
sense. Sorry,
That's
I
100%
guess I made,
still the
I guess I
vibe.
made it sound like, but I meant like we went into
You're making
it.
us sound like
Yeah.
we were something.
No, I meant like
Hey, Kat.
Could have been contenders over
Quit being
here.
a downer. Y'all got 55 subscribers.
Yeah, that's more.
No, we
used to have
like more than
zero.
one
Yeah.
a week. So.
But
No, but I feel like I mean, we do it because
Yeah.
we enjoy it.
no,
Like,
that's
We-
what I meant.
we
Is that
gained one
we went
subscriber per week.
we went
Yeah.
into it with that thought process is what I meant. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
didn't go into it being like we're gonna be fucking famous.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I did.
It was yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
Kieran joined up and he was like, I'm going to be a
He's like,
fucking
I'm ready to be
star.
a celebrity now, okay?
Yeah, but like
Hope
we
y'all's
went into
viewer,
it.
your viewership to go up.
Yeah.
You're all here
Yeah.
for me.
We went into it being like
Our
hey,
goth
this
king
is gonna,
joins.
Yeah, this is gonna go like probably gonna go nowhere. But hey, if it does, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Because like it's just fun.
Yeah.
And we will some of our anime clubs will sometimes get a paragraph from somebody.
Oh my god,
That's the
I
best.
love
Like
those.
the
whenever
best.
we get
Like,
that,
I
we know
love
we
those.
succeeded.
100%.
Yeah.
The one person on Flip Flappers like had a super
Oh my
insightful.
god, yeah.
Yeah,
Super
they're, like,
insightful.
Disagree with us on like every point,
Yeah.
but was like really like insightful.
Really
about
nice
it.
about it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, and so like, and I also try to like reply to those specific comments.
Yeah.
And then
And then we had another one, I think, on Spice and Wolf, right?
yeah,
was
yeah,
that in-
Mike's
yeah, it was my choices.
Right,
right.
And they're like, this shit's great. How dare you guys? And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, so like,
Yeah.
I'm happy with where we're at. It would be cool if we had a bit more like consistency in it, but like, it is. what it is.
It's just life, you know? It's
Yeah.
just life gets in the way.
And like, also, none of us really know how to market anything. And
Well, I
like,
also haven't been streaming, so I
That
can't
also-
tell
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, go
Yeah,
check
it's
out the
because it's
podcast."
not like we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Kat and I recently got promoted, so we have like a lot more responsibilities at our job. Like you just moved, you also just moved, like, and you
He
also
just moved.
you
'cause
also
he-
just
he's
moved.
also
Like,
here.
yeah, it's like there's a lot of shit going on in our lives,
Yeah.
and it's like but we somehow find a way to make it work, and be here once a week, and some of us aren't here, and some of us are, and it's it is what it is.
I feel like a dig.
What? No, I know. I didn't mean that as like
How
I
dare
swear
you
to God.
not
Some of us-
be here
I
every
swear to
week.
God. No, because I'm
like,
not. No,
Some of us are here.
I don't show up.
Some of
I don't.
us aren't.
I don't show up. I don't show up a lot either. So like, if anything, it's a dig
Yeah,
at myself.
Mark, there's
But
have a
like,
job and a life,
It's
all
worse
right?
because
man.
there are the episodes that I don't show up, and I'm just upstairs
Anime club.
or downstairs.
Kids like,
um,
and I live
but no, my point is
Yeah,
just
I
life gets in
live
the way. But it happens.
Yeah, and I mean like, and then also we'll get random episodes that just do well. I say. We
Yeah,
still
the sex
yeah.
appeal.
But like, we also still don't have like a very great retention. But like, that's what it is. Who cares
Yeah,
about
it is,
that?
it is what it is.
Like for instance, our last episode 49 that just came out, is at 226 views.
Sheesh, baby, how you
Who
doing?
knows? I love that I named it the acoustic cheese grater.
That's a
Hell
very
yeah.
that
Hell
conversation. That conversation is so fucking funny. I like it is so effortlessly funny. It is one of the funniest things I've ever heard of another person say. Is oh my god,
Stolen directly from TikTok.
so good.
Sure was.
Acoustic
You-
cheese grater?
Yeah, it was acoustic.
Were you there for that one? It was 4 of us.
Who was in that? Yeah, it was
Remind
me. It was me,
I
you,
guess
and
I could just
Kieran,
click
and then
on
somebody
that.
Yeah,
else.
click
episode.
on it and see.
But yeah, the acoustic cheese grater, fucking incredible bit, dude. And
Still call it that.
Yeah, 100%.
Still call it
We make that joke now all the time.
Unironically.
Every time we take it out, we're like, "Yep, it's the acoustic cheese grater."
Acoustic cheese grater.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
Side tangent. Everyone should buy one.
Yeah, you were totally on the podcast. Look at you right there.
Yeah, I know. I said it was there.
There is video evidence of you on this podcast.
It's like, yeah, motherfucker. I already said
for
that.
you. The acoustic cheese grater was
Not just for me, for the other
yeah,
people
for the
who
other
didn't
people
watch
who
this
didn't watch that
either.
episode. So the acoustic cheese grater was me and Kieran. I think what started it was we were making like mac and cheese or whatever, and we're just sitting there fucking, shredding this cheese for like 10 minutes just on this thing.
Have you
being
ever
a
hand
bitch and a
shredded
half.
a pound of cheese?
Yeah. And
I'd imagine
horrible.
it's a lot.
And so
Horrible.
at some point on Kieran's TikTok, an electric cheese grater popped up, and he was like came on. He was there was an electric cheese grater apparently. I can't find the video though, and I was like, well, find it. He was like, I think it's a fever dream, and he stumbled across it again, and was like, oh my god, it's real.
Yeah.
And so he was looking at the comments, and what was it?
Some guy was like, I didn't know they sold electric ones. It's like, the only one I have is an acoustic one. And it just seems such like a genuine comment. It's like, all I have is an acoustic. Like, what the fuck?
And so me and Kieran were driving home from work at our film job, and he was when he read that out loud, and we were dying at this. I literally thought I was gonna crash the fucking car because we were both laughing so
I think
hard.
we were both crying.
We were like,
we
because
had-
we just kept going on this joke tangent of just like, oh yeah, when a building doesn't got electric doors, there's acoustic doors. Man. Like, it was
Yeah, this building doesn't have sliding doors like the automatic one.
What is
And all
acoustic
they
ass
got is
doors, I mean?
acoustic?
And,
I
like,
don't
you
want to
know,
hold on
it's
to an
one of-
acoustic door.
It's one of those bits that is so the funniest thing on the planet only at the time.
Oh yeah,
Like-
100%. Yeah.
Like, like now to us it's still funny because we remember it happening, but like
Yeah.
it's infinitely less funny than that moment
Yeah.
when it was happening.
For sure.
And
Just the golden
the golden hour. Of
It's just the golden hour of when you find a stupid ass comment by pure chance and you just say it out loud. It's just
and you just start
kills
running
you.
with its
fucking
absurdity.
kills you.
But yeah, so we bought a rotary cheese grater, and now we just call it an acoustic cheese grater. By the way, people, if you ever
Fucking
need to
great.
make like things with a fuck ton of cheese, for God's sakes, get yourself an
Yeah.
acoustic cheese grater.
Pound
that shit's
of
incredible.
hand grating a pound of cheese took like 15-20 minutes. With the rotary one, it's like 4.
Get some nice
yeah.
forearm.
Yeah,
triangle.
it literally
Yeah,
has like a
cranks.
compartment on top.
Right.
You put the block
Yeah, I
of cheese in
know.
there with it on there, and you just do that, and it just press it
they-
down.
Do they
5
have like more
minutes.
big ones? Because I've only seen the little.
Yeah,
tiny
they're
ones.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Ours is fucking.
The one
big.
we have has like a suction cup bottom, so that it
Ooh,
attaches to the cabinet.
Yeah, get yourself an
Cabinet
acoustic
counter.
cheese grater. Continue
Yeah.
the bit. Call it an acoustic cheese grater.
Google it.
Google it.
Look
yeah.
for an acoustic cheese grater.
But yeah, so like, and I also think we have some like solid moments, like your dumbass moments at the fucking Pizza Hut hat, or hating bread, or like you.
Still think it
Your
looks like a
fucking
hat, and I
questions
still
about-
don't like.
Your fucking
Bread.
questions about what the fuck is your
Geno Cyber.
Genocyber.
Oh my god,
When
dude!
you're like-
if we ever make merch, Geno Cyber's gotta be involved,
when
dude.
you have your I've got a question. You're like, there are no dumb questions. So like, when they're at the center of the earth, are they like, does gravity affect them differently? And we're like, fucking what, Sage? It's like, yes, in the real world, obviously.
As if the
But in an anime,
the
like-
4 episode micro budget like shitty anime is gonna answer that question.
And it's just
Like,
like, well, why would he have a revolver? It only
I'm
has
sorry.
6
I-
shots. And it's like,
I'm sorry,
what
I'm
the
just gonna
fuck
move
else
over.
would he have? Like, well, and you were like, but how do they get to space? And it was like,
I asked some
it's a
very good
robot girl,
questions.
Sage. She
all right,
flies.
They
real
jump.
talk though. We should all watch the Geno Cyber together.
I'm waiting for you
It
to
would-
recommend it as your
why,
fucking
why,
show.
I don't know why
Oh,
you
fuck.
recommended something.
No, because I want to watch it together, which I
I'm
guess we
mad
could
good
still
one.
do.
That you guys
but-
watch the Power Pussy Rangers without me.
It's
That's
pussy
what-
time.
That's what I'm
Wait,
mad
can
about.
I tell you about
I
Power
did
Pussy
not
Rangers?
watch that.
Because
I
it
did
was
not.
Oh yeah,
love
the
you
episode,
too.
the episode where Colin bought hentai onto the
It
show.
was
Yeah.
greatly
Did that even air?
disappointing.
Was that
No,
cut
yeah,
out?
that was
Okay.
it. That's
They've
it.
only ever cut one thing out.
It was super disappointing.
It was
Because
disappointing.
Yeah,
it
it
had
sucked.
nothing. Like I
It was
thought
real
it was,
bad.
nothing to
I
do with
thought it was
Power
going to be
Rangers.
like a Power Ranger spoof, and it wasn't at
The
all.
first episode
Really?
was the
No.
first
Not
anthology
really.
was. Yeah, it
Not
kind of was.
really, not
Because she
really.
was
It
like,
was more of a magical girl than
Yeah, it was
anything
Oh,
else.
yeah, I
Magic
guess that is
Girl
true,
than
yeah.
Power,
Okay,
like
all
Power
right, all right. So
Rangers.
let me give you a quick synopsis as PG-13 as I can, so we don't
Okay.
get demonetized. We don't get fucking money.
Yeah,
for
I
this
was like,
shit.
there's no monetization to begin
Yeah,
with,
yeah,
so
no,
I
no.
think it's okay.
Yeah, you still have to abide by you know, terms and services.
Okay, so
Community guidelines.
if anyone cares, we're talking about Power Pussy Rangers. So don't get yourself spoiled.
Don't worry, I'll put up
Yeah,
a
skip
reference.
to this time if you don't want to be spoiled.
Before Mike tells you like the synopsis,
Mhm.
because it's like 3 like 15-minute clips, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there's the different
And
stories.
the
Yeah.
third one cuts out before it finishes.
Cliffhanger.
Does it?
Oh my god. It's not
Is
even
there a
like,
sequel to Power
You
Pussy
left.
Rangers?
You left.
I know, I left because I couldn't handle it
It's
anymore.
not
like
even a
20 minutes
cliffhanger.
left.
It's like an actual like
Why does it look
mid-scene
like
just
axe wounds?
credits.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of cliffhanger.
And I was like, what the fuck?
So all right. So what happens is right. So the first one that's like magical girl is
God, I
it's
does
this-
anyone wear a Power Ranger suit?
No.
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 So this girl is like there's the magical girl robot and there's the
robot?
like yeah.
Does she
She's
have
like
a
a cyborg
robot
or something.
pussy?
Huh?
Technically, I guess. And
What
and
did
there's
she
What did
yeah.
she say?
That's what Mark asked
Yeah.
about fucking
then
Nia.
and then
Oh, yeah,
there's
he did
there's
say that.
there's like the guy that created her, the scientist, right? And there's like an attack on some building, and she's like, I gotta go save them. And she does a transformation. She's like, naked for a hot second, gets into the clothes, flies off.
Yeah.
But aren't her titties out in the transformation?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like-
saying.
Yeah, boy,
She's like
howdy
naked
are
for a
they.
second.
No, I mean with the, she has like a, I don't know, half outfit on. I don't
Yeah, I
fucking
don't know.
what it's
So
called.
so she goes and she gets her ass kicked.
Yeah.
Absolutely does nothing. She just
gets
loses
shredded, dude, yeah.
immediately. Gets taken captive. Questionable things happen to her. And
Questionable?
yeah,
I would say bad.
yeah, bad things happen to her. And then immediately you see this person with like a mask on. You're like, that's the dude that created her. And then he goes down,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then he
it's
starts
not
doing
Yeah, it's
subtle
like
at
it's
all.
like
Not subtle
so
at all.
painfully obvious that it's
Yeah.
the doctor.
And then,
Yeah.
then not cool things happen to her again from him. And then he takes off the mask and he's like, haha, wasn't that fun? And she's like, oh, professor. And then it's just like, wah, wah. And then,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the next thing.
Yeah, fucking yeah. It was really weird.
And she's
It was
like,
really
"Why
weird
did you-"
because after
she's like, why did you do this? And he's like, that's just my kink. And
Yeah,
it's just
and then
fucking like,
it
all
was
right.
so weird because then Porky Big came out and it was like, that's all, folks. And then it went to the next fucking
Literally,
episode.
she's like, why did you do this? And he's like, that's just what I'm into. And then it's like, and then
Yeah,
they cut off.
Hey.
freeze frame,
Oh
like
my-
the circle closes it. Yeah.
Hey, we
Oh
don't
my
kink shame
God.
here, all right?
Yeah.
And then there
Oh,
was
and
a
then the
really
next
bad
one
Evangelion
was like a,
porno.
Yeah, it was
Oh
literally
my
an Evangelion porno. And it was like a 48 million year long sex scene. And it was it felt like fucking homework watching. Like it was not even titillating, dude. Like
Also-
she was laying there just like spread eagle. and he's like, "Oh my god, can I fuck you?" And she's like, yeah, dumbass. Like, I'm laying like this.
Like,
And
get
she's
to
like-
it. Chop,
and she's
chop.
like, okay. And then, like, the actors are just, like, sitting there. Like, you could tell, like, they're in the VO booth, like, they're like, check 1 2. Are we rolling? Okay.
The voice acting is so wooden.
I,
They're literally
it's
like
so bad, yeah.
I am
In
not
that-
going to enjoy hearing that.
in the Evangelion spoof. She's like,
Very intimate
yeah.
detail.
fuck me. It's so wooden, and
It's
I'm
so
like,
bad.
what is happening?
Oh my god! And then he finishes, and he's like, "Oh baby, that was fantastic." And she's like, "Do it again." and then they fuck again for like 15 more minutes.
And it's that like really, really lazy hentai where they make like 2 frames for like penetration, and they just repeat the 2
repeat
frames
it on a loop. Like,
for like
nice.
5
As the
minutes
actors-
Hey,
straight.
hey, work smarter, not harder.
or they'll go in between like the 2 frames of movement, or just like various still shots.
Oh, and there's the moment where like she accuses him of cheating on her, and he's like, "No, baby, you're the only one for me." And then
yeah, it's like it comes out of nowhere.
it
She's
comes
like,
out of nowhere.
"You cheat on
yeah,
me."
And she's like, "You cheat on me," and then she just takes her clothes off. It's like, "Fuck me."
Oh my god.
Like,
there
why
was
did it go?
Hey, it's called a twist, asshole.
Look it up.
Plot twist.
And then he is banging the other
Turns
person.
out,
but like
it's a little bit more depth to this.
they bang each other while she's unconscious in a hospital bed, and they're banging each other like in the room. And he's just like, we can't. And she's like, but we could though. And he's like, you're right, we could. Let's do it.
My man.
Duly noted. Yeah, like. Oh, it's so funny. No, but it's just so like. Not hot. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that
It's some
one
of the bottom
scene.
tier hentai.
It's
I've
like it
seen.
really is. It's like it's one of like it's just like she just lays there, and he's like, I mean, I guess I'll fuck you, and then he does it, and then it's just the same frames of it for like, I'm not even kidding you, it's like 7 unbroken minutes.
It's terrible.
of just like him, just jackhammering. Like straight up. Like it starts off slow, like how you would like dip a paintbrush in water. Like, you know, it's going in and out, and it's like,
And then he
okay.
Bob Rosses the hell out of it.
And then straight up, and then it turns into like he's working on a fucking sidewalk with a jackhammer. Like, it's just ridiculous. But it's the same frame, and then like, but it's the same frame of him like fucking her, but then they just speed it up. Like no nuance change at all, except for like the actor's voice, because then it goes from like, to like, it's like that's the only difference.
doing.
That's like the only difference you'll see in like the
Michael, I'm not
animation.
editing this episode. You can edit this one.
Oh,
It's
I don't
like-
wanna hear that.
It's like the illusion that something is
yeah,
happening.
100%, 100%.
And then they're banging while like the city's getting fucking destroyed by by like an alien.
and then they get fucking swatted.
they're like the fucking like agency breaks down the door and they're like, you gotta get in the mechs, and they're like, oh.
He's like, Cat. He is like balls deep into her at this point. And they come in and they fucking bust in.
And
and he's
it's completely stoic. Like one person that's not in full mask, like military, walks in like, you're supposed to be in the mech, and he's like,
And I
oh.
swear to God, dude, he is claiming territory in there. Like he is building a settlement in there, and they're like, you have to get in the fucking mech, and I'm like, they're busy. Like,
And then that's when it, and then it cuts before like anything happens, and then when
Or
like,
no, I'm so sorry, sir.
excuse me, like,
it cuts when nothing happens, and then it goes back to the first story. For,
Yeah.
like 5 minutes, where
And
it's like.
breaking up like a robbery,
Yeah,
right?
like there's these two dudes like robbing this girl, and then the magical girl shows up and is like, stop, citizens. And they're like, what are you gonna do about it? And she's like, take off your pants.
Hello?
And then she just starts
Oh
going
my
to town on these
God.
two, and then it just cuts. And like in the middle of her going to town on them.
What,
And
you
that's
think
it.
criminals are gonna run away from that? No. It was a trap.
I'm doing this until the police can arrive. I'm just buying time.
yeah.
Oh my
He's gonna
god.
distract them, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Anyway.
Randy
But yeah.
Savage
Oh,
from
man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Playtime.
So anyway, do we have any other fucking topics? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Yep.
That's a
That
year
does it.
condensed into an hour and 3 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey.
That was our clip show without showing
Yeah.
any
No
clips.
clips whatsoever.
I got you.
So yeah, hey, you know, if you've been around since the beginning or joined us at any point during this year, thank you. You know, and I guess hopefully we'll see you in the second year. I guess, you know, we make it a whole another year go around, and yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying our shit show. Let us know in the comments how, you know, I guess how long you've maybe been around, what you've been liking, disliking.
Yeah,
whatever.
rank the members of the podcast
Yeah.
from
Oh
one.
my
I'm just
God.
And
kidding.
why am I number
Don't do
one?
that, please.
And yeah, you know, so thanks for sticking around or just joining us, and hopefully we'll see you guys for another year. I guess that's it for this episode, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. For listening to us on streaming services, don't forget to leave a review, follow, like. Don't forget to check out Anthony at Super Milkshake on YouTube, Kat at Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. You have 3 weeks to watch Gurren Lagann, so, you know, get to that. And that'll be everything. So we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much for
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.